welcome to the Bender Bunker, your one-stop shop for B-Bender related videos. And it's cover tune time apparently here in the bunker. If you recognize that riff, then you just may well be a Turnpike Troubadour fan like me. Now, I don't do a lot of cover tunes, as longtime viewers know, especially ones not involving Clarence or Marty, but when I woke up today and I just had some music playing on shuffle, enjoying a few spirited libations, thanks to viewers just like you and donations, cheers. That song came on and it's opening up with a pedal steel. And I got to thinking, hey, I wonder if I could lift that for the B-Bender. Here we are a few hours later. I had some pretty good success. And I want to throw it out to you and teach it to you if you'd like to learn it today. So that's what we're doing, the opening of Down Here by the Turnpike Troubadours. If you're not familiar with the song or the band, what I'm going to do, post a direct link to that studio version where I lifted the riff from. That'll be in the top comment. I'll pin it to the comment section below. Go check out the song. It's a great introduction to the band if you're not familiar with them. I believe they are out of Oklahoma, so we're very familiar with them here in Texas. You can tell by the hat. And so check them out. That's the opening riff. Again, it is a pedal steel, not a B-Bender, doing that on the studio version that they do. I'm translating it to a B-Bender for you, so you can't get 100% there. You're going to get about 90% there, and that's what I've got for you today. So if that sounds good, let's do the double Bs, shall we? Let's do beverages and benders. Go grab yours, meet me on the other side of this fade, and we're going to get right on it. Let's do it. Well, all right, looks like you're ready to take a journey down here by the Turnpike Troubadours with the pedal steel opening. It is nice to have you on board. And as we do with so many of these lessons, we are going to divide and conquer it into sections to make it easy to get through. So let's start at the opening with the opening riff. That's all you got to do, and you're already on board the train. All right, the song is in G, dominant key of G, goes to C and D, as so many of the greats do. And since it's in G, that's why we're probably starting up here in, you guessed it, the G Bender Twang box, as we say here in the bunker. And as your top two strings with your index finger on the 10th, and then I've got my ring finger over in the third string 12th to make those top three notes. That's the top end of your G Bender box. And that's going to work just fine for what we're doing here. Now what we're doing is we're alternating on the G string, your third string, between the 11th and the 12th. So I'm doing the 11th with my middle finger and then rolling up to the 12th with my ring. That's the opening to this. We're starting on the high E that's already covered on the 10th by our index finger for a note, coming over, noting the G string 11th, and then rolling up to the G string 12th, so middle finger, ring finger. So there we are. We just hit the, we just got the G string 12th ringing out. And now we're going to alternate that G string 12th with the B string 10th that's already covered by our index finger. Doing so all together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sounds like about 6 notes. All right, now we've got it right back where we started in that G Bender box position. So what we're going to do is we're going to down pick those 3 strings, taking the bender up with that down pick, and when we get to the top of that bend, we're going to hold the bender in place and pick again. So all together. Okay, bender's still engaged. Let's keep it that way for now. Now we're going to sneak our fingers down to this position. This is really just kind of a D chord shape for the same dominant key of G that we're in. And so what I'm doing there, I've got my index finger on the third string 7th and my ring finger next to it on the B string 8th. I've got the high E open. Now you can hit this next section with the high E string open and balled or not. I'm trying to probably isolate just the second and third string where my fingers are, but if you hit the open E, it's going to sound okay too. And then now that I've done that, I'm going to up pick those 2 strings, your second and third strings that you've got your hands in place for, to let the bender down. All together. Shifting, I believe, to D, so we're going to go to the D Bender box, which is right next to where we are, and it's a pretty quick transition. So instantly I'm thinking, okay, I got to get my index finger to the top 2 on the 5th, and naturally get my ring finger over to the third string 7th to make the top 3 strings of your D Bender box. So we're coming off this 2-string shape, right? And we're transitioning. That's basically transitioning G to D. Bender's down, and then we get get to our D bender box and we do the 3-string down pick to take the bender back up. All right, slowly all together. And that is a very quick transition from that 2-note G right here. So that's probably what you're going to want to practice, is transitioning from that shape to your D bender box. That's pretty much the tempo you've got to do it at. All right, do me a favor, practice that. When I come back for part 2, this is the fun part of it. A lot of notes coming your way. Get ready. Well, all right, strap in. We're going to finish this bad boy off, and there's a few moving pieces for this next section, and this is what I'm talking about. That took me the longest to figure out when I was trying to translate it over this morning, and it just took me a while to figure out that the steel player was really starting on some high notes, jumped down to some low notes in a hurry before he really got into some bends. So we're going to cover some real estate, as you just saw, but before we do any bendering, there's 6 notes that need to happen. 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there's 5 notes. Let's learn those, and then we'll worry about the bender after that. So high E 15th with your ring finger for a note. Then you go down 1 high E 14th with your middle finger for a note, and that allows your ring finger to go over to the B string, your 2nd string, 15th for a note. So those are your first 3 notes. All right, now you need to get down the neck, and what you're going to do is you're going to have your index finger go down 3rd string 7th fret when you get there, make that note. So those are your first 4 notes. And it's okay when you do that 3rd note on the B string to do a little slide down and hit the audio. I think it works out nicely getting to that 3rd string 7th. So there you are, 3rd string 7th with your index finger, and that's on purpose. Make it your index finger because you really need to open up your hand so your little finger can do what it needs to do next, which is cover the top 2 on the 10th, which of course are the top 2 notes of your G bender box, so that works well for the song in G. And that is going to be your 5th note, which is that high E covered now by your little finger. So those are your first 5 notes. Now, here's something you need to know though before we go any further, is when I get down to my 4th note, which is that G string 7th, that's my mental cue to pre-bend, because when we do our first bender part, it needs to be pre-bent. So I'm activating the bender to get it ready on that 4th note. Bender's going up, little finger's going top 2 on the 10th, high E first, then the B string that's pre-bent to let it down. So now we have, get that nice and smooth. That's kind of the hard jump right there. It's okay, those are all ringing nicely together. Bender's down, and we finish that sequence up on the B string, your 2nd string. We do 1 note with our index finger on the 8th. Right, bender's down, we just finished that sequence. Now it's perfect that the index finger's there on the 2nd string 8th. Let it cover the top string 8th as well. So the top 2 are covered on the 8th, bender's down. Let's down pick those 2 together and take the bender all the way up pretty abruptly. Give it a blast. All right. Just like that. All right, so we've got the bender up, we just blasted it. What I'm kind of doing now is I'm letting my back of my hand mute the strings a little bit because I need to let this bender down, and I don't need a lot of audio from that bender coming down, so that's kind of how I'm doing it. Bender's coming down. I need to get my hand down to the C bender box position, so I just blasted the top 2 on the 8th with my index. Let that index finger go down and cover the top 2 on the 3rd fret, and that allows your ring finger to fall naturally on the 3rd string 5th to make your C bender box shape. Okay, so you just blasted top 2 on the 8th, kind of muted it, let it down, move down to make your C bender box, top 2 on the 3rd, ring finger going over to the G string 5th. When you get that shape in place and the bender's down, start by hitting the G string, your 3rd string 5th note, and then down pick all 3 and take the bender up. So it starts with a note, and then you down pick all 3 and take the bender up. And really, that's just about getting it fluid now. Just keep practicing till it's second nature. The only thing I can tell you to help get it smoother is I noticed when I'm blasting the top 2 on the 8th, I'm up picking those. That's just where my pick goes smoothest to get me ready for that C section. So think about that. Up pick, covering it to mute it to let the bender down. C bender box, start with the G string 5th, make the note. All 3 up. Now we're going to finish with the final sequence, which is this. Bender's coming down. We got to take this exact shape, right? That's your C bender box. Take that back up to the G bender box. So again, top 2 on the 10th and your ring fingers on the G string 12th. When you get there, to mimic what the steel player is doing as best I can, you're going to pick the B string on the 10th in isolation. Take the bender up. All right, keep the bender there. Hit the high E that's still covered already. Come back to the B to let it down. And then hit that G string on the 12th that's already covered in that shape. All right, now the song is going to D. Take that exact shape, don't change anything, just take it down to the D bender box. Now you're covering top 2 on the 5th, you've got your ring finger on the 3rd string 7th, start with the B string on the 5th in isolation, do exactly what you did. Bender's down now, right? Now we have to finish the last part, which is this. Because the song goes back to the dominant key of G, and that's the best thing we can do to mimic what the steel player is doing. So we just finished the Bender's down. What I'm doing now is I'm taking the top 2 on the 3rd fret. I'm using my ring finger for the B string and my little finger for the high E. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to down pick those 2 in isolation, take the bender all the way up. I'm going to down pick those 2 again to bring the bender down. And then on the B string, your 2nd string, I'm substituting now instead of my ring finger, I'm going index finger on the 1st fret and then B string open. Now notice when I locked in on this position to start this section of it, when my little finger went to the high E on the 3rd, it never moved for any of this. That's anchored there. So here we go. Down pick them, take it up. Down pick down. And then you go 2nd string with your index finger on the 1st. B string open. So all together. Now you know all the pieces to the Turnpike Troubadours down here, steel opening. Just kind of put them all together. I will say I noticed on that very last part when you blast those top 2 on the 8th, go down to your C. When I come back up to do that last G bender box, where you're going to go, I like to slide into it. I've already got the position I want. I know I'm taking that exact position back to there, so I'll actually kind of have to do it in real time. Let's see. I'm actually using that shape and just using the audio I already got off of this segment. I think it gives that nice slinky pedal steel sound, and then you can just go down to that last section and do it the way we did. All right. Let's try and do it all together. See if I can do it. I'm going to pause here in case I have to edit. Okay, there we go. Turnpike Troubadours down here, pedal steel opening. Hope you enjoyed that. A little something I didn't know I was going to do until a few hours ago. It's always nice to have a surprise lesson pop out of nowhere. I'm always appreciative when the Bender Muses send me something to work on. Thank you, Bender Muses. That's all I've got for now. If you enjoyed any part of this, thumbs up would be appreciated. A great way to support the channel. And if you've got any Turnpike Troubadour fans that might enjoy this, go ahead and share it with them while you're thinking about it. If you're new to the Bender Bunker, well, you're welcome. It's nice to have you on board. We specialize obviously in B-bender action, hot fretboard action as we like to say around here, and we've got a subscribe button waiting for you right there in the corner while you're thinking about it. and that way you won't miss anything. And if you want to see more Bender Bunker, but maybe in smaller doses, that sounds like our Instagram channel. Direct link in the Show More section below, and you also see our PayPal virtual beer donation link in there as well. If you want to send something our way, I promise you we'll drink it. It's what we do, and I sure appreciate it. And then we're going to get on out of here with our motto. This is not the big 50th B-Bender lesson I thought it was. That's the next one. So I'm going to go work on that one. This was just kind of a little detour while I was thinking of it this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. By the way, if you haven't heard the Turnpike Troubadours, this might be a good introduction to them. Go check them out. Like I say, they have a few albums. I think you'll enjoy their music if you're into that Americana kind of flavor like I am. All right, we're going to end as we always do with the Bender Bunker motto. It is never too late to go on a bender. I certainly hope you do. And I'll see you real soon with hopefully the 50th B-Bender lesson that we offer here on the Bunker. Man, how time flies when you're bending that string. All right, I'll see you next time. Stay healthy until then, and keep it bent.